In other words, they are nature's battery, and some of them measure up to about 1 volt across the nugget. Go ahead.
Yeah, I read about that. A couple of companies were gearing up to start mining them, and then when they found this out and the fact that it looks like it's producing oxygen, they've kind of, everybody's put their hand up and said, wait, don't go digging those things up yet. But yeah, it's kind of amazing. Apparently, I read different things on it that, not really confirmed, but maybe it is that they're actually producing oxygen. And one of the things they think about this is that, we always thought that oxygen in an exoplanet atmosphere would be indication of life. But it seems kind of interesting that there's a new form that could actually be producing oxygen at the bottom of the ocean. So very, very interesting, Will. Go ahead.
Okay. There's also another interesting corollary to that. There's an unusual area in Africa. It's sort of in, I don't know, what do you want to call it, the belly button of Africa? On the west coast. And there's this area there that is that's still an extremely ancient piece of the earth. And they've, life as we know it started on Earth about 600,000 years ago. And now little virus may go back billions of years, but multi-cell life started 600,000 years ago. Well, now there's evidence from that particular area of the world that about 2.1 billion years ago, there was this little flat forms of life, multi-cell life, because the environment there was unusual in that oxygen, there was a lot of oxygen and a lot of sulfur. And oxygen and sulfur is the precursors for bigger life forms beyond basically viruses. And so they're not sure that these fossilized little flatworms or worms, some are like little worms and some are little like flatworms, were really real fossils, or are they not? And then they became destroyed because the nutrients coming from the sulfur and the oxygen eventually went away. So higher life forms on Earth died away, and it took almost another over 1.5 billion years to come back again. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, you said 600,000, but I think you mean 600 million years ago that multicellular life started coming about. But yeah, there's so much we don't know. We just keep finding things and going, oh, we thought we were right about that. I mean, I remember when I was in grade school, I looked at the world map and told the teacher, Africa and South America used to be together. And she looked at me and said, no, it didn't. That couldn't happen. Oh, okay. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Kind of wish trilobites were still around. Those are kind of neat things. But yeah, it's just like it's been quite a few years now that they've discovered the, undersea thermal vents and the life down there. So who knows? Could have been here a lot longer than we can imagine. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're right. I meant to say 600 million years ago, over 500 million years ago. But the 2.1 billion years ago, well, it shows you when you've got the right environment, it turns into bigger multi-cell animals. That's the take-home idea. you get the right environment, and it's going to happen. If it happened here on Earth twice for multi-cell animals, then it can happen in other environments as well. And it is inevitable to happen. That's the chemistry. All right, let's move on down to Ken, K6YYL. She's not up here with us yet. She was down working DX. Must be busy. Mark, AG6ZR. Rich, W6BRC. Doug, N6ODF. John, W7RSO. Dana, N7UFC. Good morning, John, AA6RF.
Yeah, AA6RF in the group. Will, Kim's recording right now on her YouTube channel, this AM Roundtable. So she's got it going on her YouTube channel at this moment. So I just wanted to throw that in out there. And thanks, Kim, for bringing up the YouTube channel. I noticed it. On another note, Will, I brought down my VG4 antenna. It had Peyronie's disease, and so I pulled it down, tore it all apart. I retired it, and I put back up my 40-meter vertical antenna, and I got my beacon going on just 40-meter at the moment. So I'm going to leave 40 going 24 hours a day. A lot of solar activity, storm after storm after storm, and it's hard to keep track of all the stuff that's going on. But at the moment, we had another couple flares earlier today, and the solar flux is up to 245, so that's a good thing. We got the flux way up, but the K index is 6, so we got a lot of magnetic disturbance that's screwing up everything. But it's a good day for direct wave communication, like what we're doing now on 6 meters. So I'm happy we got the 6 meter net. And who cares about Skyway when we have this wonderful network on 6 meters? So that's about it, Will. And I'll let you. Oh, and we made some contacts. We got a hold of Jenna on the 15 meter the other day when she was back east on the ARRL communication site there, and I think Will's got much more information, so I'll let him take over when it gets to him. So thanks, Will, and I'll say a little bit more maybe on the next go around. So AA6GD, back to net control.
Yeah, we understood that Kim worked her as well. I had a phone call with him earlier in the week, and they were for a class there of 5 other students, and they were going to launch some of these micro balloons, high elevation micro balloons, and so there's the rest of the week, there didn't look like it would be good weather for launching, but I think they had the next day to perhaps launch and see if they get the balloons up or not. The other thing is they were looking for, the ARRL was trying to find somebody at MIT that would take them to Haystack and give them a tour of Haystack. For those who are not familiar with the terminology, there's this all dates back to World War II, where he was doing the radiation lab there was the world's biggest lab for radar and electronic warfare, and all the great experts in the world were there, including my friend Willie, WA6ABN. Of course, he was W2 New York Yankee back in those days, and was a young man, of course, who I have talked to about what all they were working on and what all they did there. Well, Haystack is an area away from the campus for radio astronomy, and so I've never seen pictures of it. I don't know what it looks like, but I can imagine that it's out in the country someplace, located probably in some sort of valley, if we could find a valley surrounded by hills, we could find someplace that fit in that category, with, I assume, a number of large dishes. Don't know how many, so I asked her to take plenty of pictures if they got a tour of Haystack. I did send her with a lighthouse tube out of a friend or foe World War II APX-6. I gave Jenna the lighthouse tube and told her, you test all the old timers she ran into by showing the tube and saying, "What is it?" Which her father knew what it was, which was good. Her father knew exactly what it was when he saw it. So we were having a lot of fun with that. Let's see if Chris is with us, KF6LAX. Let's go to John, KU66.
All right, everybody, let me turn this thing down. No, I don't think I need an amplifier now that we have the Santiago Peak machine running. Anyway, yeah, it's all very interesting stuff there. Yeah, I used to have all the Rad Lab series of books they had. They were all quite interesting. I think it's trying to see if you can get them online without having to pay anything. You may be able to have to get them online, but I don't know if that Haystack thing would have been mentioned in that or not. But yeah, it was a fascinating time, that's for sure. And all about the problem of the magnetron. I guess that was done in Bell Labs after the British brought it over. But anyway, it's a fascinating reading. I don't think I have much else to say, Will. AA60D, KU6X.
Okay, John. Do we have any late missed or visitor check-ins? Call signs, please. Hearing none, let's go back up to Jim, W6YOS. I don't know, John, A6RF, was there any Fox Tango 8 openings?
Yes. They're weak signal stuff. Actually, I shouldn't say weak signal. There was a real strong signal down in Mexico below Texas that I heard, and I contacted it. It was easy to make contact with that station, but when I went to sideband, nobody there. If somebody in Mexico had a radio, I could have made the contact easily, but stateside it was kind of tough. And but there was some activity when I wasn't on the air, but not like it was a few weeks ago.
Okay, thank you for that report, John. Yeah, the meteor showers will be peaking on the 11th and 12th of this month. So these showers will be all week long and last a week or two after the peak. So from the meteors, don't be surprised to hear a lot of pings and ups and downs, and speaking when it's not supposed to peak. It's always quite random. Comment on the solar flux being high, really good. The 240 K of 6 with conditions the way they are now. If it was up the latter part of October or November, we would be right on the cusp of a 6-year opening. Just a little more of both, and it would push it all the way to 6 during those months. So we'll hopefully see it keeping on as we go into October and November. Let me go down to Tom, AJ6PP. Okay, Tom. Well, in the cool of the evening hours, if you want, come over here and we'll work on it anytime. And I'll give you a hand on that installation. Let's see if Gary may have showed up, WA7BIP. Okay, let's go to Don, K6DLP.
Well, just here, grab your phone. Sitting here with another ham buddy. I'm going to get him to check in here when you call for newbies. He's definitely a ham newbie. He's one of my Mexican buddies. I'm over here taking care of him today, working on a digital repeater for their GMRS system. and like Tom said, it's hot. I don't want to stay in here much longer. Stay out of the sun, Tom. You don't need a suntan. Anyway, K6DOP.
Okay, Don. Very good on that. Gary, W6RYO.
Yeah, I'm still here. Although, you know, if I get off the radio pretty quick, I could get in a morning nap before lunch and then not screw up my afternoon nap. You know, when they bump into each other, I really hate that. It just, you know, I feel cheated all day long, but, you know, maybe I can get in a quick morning nap. So, other than that, just nothing going on. The bands have been pretty quiet, so just playing around, and I'm always watching 6-meter FT8, but other than a few locals calling, that's about it. Even 10 meters FT8 hasn't picked up, so we'll have to see as the season goes, and the sun's going to do what it wants. But yeah, it's definitely spewing out a bunch of flares, and you know, as John RF is monitoring, it was kind of amazing during the 60-meter net yesterday how you could. He was watching the flares and watching the propagation, and it just, you know, flare hit and it just went away, and then it popped back up. It was quite an interesting thing, but 60-meter net was pretty poor yesterday. Anyway, that's enough rambling for me. Well, I'll catch everybody later. So AA6 and DD and the group, everybody enjoy W6RYO.
W6RYO is very good, Gary. Well, yeah, the 60 meters is disappointing, but that is why on HF you need all the power you can get and all the antler you can get. Oh, because when conditions get bad, you just don't communicate quite often, but there's when it gets really bad, it doesn't matter what power or what antler. It will be gone. And so direct waves are unpicked. Well, you do have to put up a decent antenna and run reasonable power level, but you end up with something that is, you know, 99% of the time reliable. CS10 is there and wants to speak, K6YYL. Nope, don't hear her. Let's go to John, AA6RF.
Yeah, AA6RF to the group. Let's see. I guess, well, when we made the contact with Jenna, the band conditions were really crummy. But she was on 15 meters. She had a beam, and she probably had 500 or 600 watts. So I was able to copy. She was able to copy me, but I heard nothing else on 15 meters. So it was weak signal propagation, and with the powerhouse stations she had, the W1AW. I mean, what better setup can you have than that station? It's a great station, and she was able to take care of it. I'm anxious to hear some more information about her trip and stuff when she gets back. But boy, it'd be fun to be in that class because you learn so much. And they got to shoot up some or let go some balloons, and that's something that Gary and I were anticipate doing at one point. And we get motivated and get halfway there, and then we go back to the same relax mode, and we forgot about it. So I don't know, Gary, one of these days maybe we'll get it going, or now with Jenna, with all the experience she has and stuff, maybe she'll get us motivated where we'll have a club balloon launch or something coming up in winter time, because that's actually the best time to release the balloons is in winter. Yeah, the flares have happening so often that it's the only time it's really you get fairly good reliable communication is at night. Forget about the flares and all the magnetic disturbance and all that. Nighttime, 40 meter, 20 meter, good bands for DX, and you can't give up on it, but conditions are going to change. We're going to see an F2 opening on 6 meter. As Will and Will predicts, and I've gotten along with him, and so I'm on the bandwagon. I think something's going to happen in October. That if things are going the way they are, and we keep getting the flares and stuff, October will be the season where all that will happen. So I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, Will, I'll turn it over so you continue the net, and you don't have to hear me blabber.
Okay, John, very good on all your analysis there. Let's go to John, KU6X.
All right, everybody. Well, John, KU6X Upland here. We did have a little opening there. It was last Tuesday. Will, you worked a couple guys in Texas, and I did too. And I just happened to catch it after you had worked some guys. And having my big screen SDR on sure helps. You can just walk by, 10 feet away, and you can see if there's any 6-meter beacons coming in. So they were pretty short contacts, but fairly reasonable. The first guy was pretty strong. The second guy was pretty weak. So anyway, it's still possible for these low probability sporadic key openings. Yesterday, a friend of mine came over. I haven't seen him for years. He's Pakistani origin. This is KK6RN. He brought over one of those little SDR things that were model. Let's see if I can find a model here on the FX4CR, third generation SDR radios. Very cute little thing. It's got a little tiny 2-inch screen though. Very big magnifying glass to see everything, but it's just amazing what that radio does. It's about $600. But 20 watts, about the size of a QSL card, and about an inch and a half thick, I think. Blows my mind. I had one more comment. What was it? Not terribly important, obviously. That's what happens when you don't write stuff down. Oh yeah, the Rad Lab, MIT Radiation Lab books are online for free, so if anyone's interested in what topics they covered. That's it, Will. AA6DD KU6X.
Well, very good, John. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the name of those things. What are they called? Those little transceivers. Anyway, there was basically a small consortium of hams, two out of South America, and I think a couple out of Britain. They were working together to create, first they created a CW transceiver, and basically it's all software. It's all created by software. So they made it this, little pack of cigarette size transceiver. And then they thought, well, maybe we should be able to go beyond what go beyond. And so they used software to create sideband. And it's by getting the right phase and the right angles at the right times, they were able to actually generate sideband. Now, obviously, band transmits, and the quality is good enough. Is it great quality? No. Is it great overload characteristics on receive? Absolutely not. But does it work? Yeah, it works. And so then the Chinese got a hold of it because it was open domain. It was, free domain software. And the Chinese got a hold of it, and then they built a whole bunch of Chinese versions of various sizes and shapes of the transceiver. And so that's the kind of history of it there, John. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Well, this thing sounded very good. I tuned it in on my radio here. I couldn't. You have to have the manual because I got 6, 8. I got 11 buttons, 2 knobs, and a 2-inch screen that's loaded with multicolor information on it that you need a big giant magnifying glass if you're my age to see it. But yeah, it's interesting and how anyway the Japanese can probably, or Chinese can probably take over, put out the big boys out of business if their big boys aren't careful. Go ahead.
Yes, yeah, because they don't care about anybody's patent. Okay, with that, do we have any late, missed, or visitor check-ins? Call signs, please. Well, I guess the new Tom out there is not there yet. So you're there, AA630D and the AM roundtable. Well, Fox Tango 8 is going down below. I saw it jump up and somebody's transmitting. All right, one more call for any late, missed, or visitor check-ins. All right, anybody with comments, questions, anything whatsoever, call signs, please.
Yeah, one quick comment, Will, and this is to the group. And this is AA6RF. When these flares hit, I've heard them multiple times. 40 meter I was on yesterday, and you're in the middle of a conversation, and then all of a sudden you'll hear the noise level go up for about 5 or 6 seconds, and then the signal goes from an S9, S8, S7, S6, and it does all this in a matter of about 10 seconds. It goes from an S9 down to an S2. Then, of course, with all the D-layer absorption from the X-rays hitting, it takes the noise out and everything. So it's just like you hear a little bit of a noise increase, and then it just goes, and then it just dies, and then the flare takes over, and the band's dead for 10 or 15 minutes or whenever the flare decides to stop.
Okay. Very interesting, your correlation there, direct correlation, but I've seen it before. I've seen it, where you can hear it, hear the noise on 6, and my noise is 0. Or on 10, and you know the flare hit, and you can just watch the signal just disappear off whoever you're talking to. It's like they threw a switch.
Yep. Different bands it hits different. I mean, there's lower bands are hit more severe. Upper bands are hit severe too if it's a really big flare, but. If it's not so big, the 10 meter or 6 meter will hang in there. 6 meter will hang in there just about forever because it's not skywave at the moment.
Yes, yeah, Roger. All right, anything from anybody else, or even John again? Everybody have a wonderful day. AA6PD clearing the AM roundtable, and QSY 6.300 is closing it up.
Hey, late check-in, KJ60LY, hanging out with the turkey guy over here, and KJ6DLC, just saying happy Sunday to everybody.
All right, is that you, Tom? Give me your call again slowly.
No Tom here, is Efren, KJ60LY.
KJ6OLY, and spell your name for me, please.
Efren, like Efren Symbolis Jr. That's what they tell me, the detective show. But I'm hanging out with the turkey guy on a Sunday today. We already went to breakfast. I don't know where we're going to go now. We're going to get in trouble.
All right, KJ6OLY, thanks for checking in. You have a good lunch.
All right, you guys have a good Sunday. 73.
please. Yeah, join us on 6 meters all the time. We're listening to 300 FM all the time. AA650D is looking for any other late Mr. Visitor check-ins. All right, none. AA650D, +1.
K6YYL, K6YYL, AA6RL. The ham radio lady, are you still around? This is AA6RF. CQ, CQ. This is Alpha 6 Romeo Foxtrot. Alpha 6 Romeo Foxtrot calling CQ from Southern California and standing by. CQ. This is Alpha 6 Romeo Foxtrot, AA6RF calling CQ. This is Alpha 6 Romeo Foxtrot calling CQ from Delta Mike 14 and standing by. This is AA6RF calling CQ, and you're being recorded at this moment on YouTube channel. Anybody want to come back? This is AA6RF calling CQ and standing by.
KJ6OLY out here in Baja California saying hello.
Yeah, KJ6 what?
KJ6OLY out here in Baja California, waving a hand.
Well, you're really strong. I don't believe you're in Baja.
Yeah, I'm below the tracks. I'm in Baja California. I'm below the tracks. Not in Baja California, but I'm below the tracks. So they call it Baja California when you're below the tracks.
Okay, you're in Riverside. I should have known it.
You're not watching your meter there, John.
Yeah, you got a good, strong signal. You're too strong. I was going to say we have a hell of a sporadic E opening if you're coming in from Baja, California. But I understand now. I'm a little slow. Yeah, if you're below the tracks, you're out in the no man's land out there. I mean, you're lucky you can survive out in that territory.
So what's going on, John? Turkey guy was
talking on my radio.
Oh man, we're gonna go get in trouble. I don't know if you're ready for us to go pick you up.
Oh, okay, it's Efren. I mean, your voice and your everything's different. I should have known. I mean, Don's the only one that comes in this strong, and if you're at his house, it's ridiculous. I mean, your turkey, Don. I'm really disappointed in you. You're getting Efren to do your dirty work.
Hey, I didn't do it. He grabbed the mic from me.
Oh, bull. I don't go for that. I mean, Efren, I've got the total confidence in you telling the truth. I've been hanging around Don for, too long, so I know his practices and his habits and stuff. I mean, he's a hell of a good ham operator and technician, but he's also got the BS degree.
I amen on that one. I first time I met him, he was a turkey from the get-go.
Yeah, I understand. Well, I hope you understand this, that you're being on, you're recorded on the YouTube channel. If you want to hear this, you got to log into K6YYL Ham Radio Lady. She's got a YouTube channel, and she's recording this conversation. And I'm hearing it from my transceiver. I'm hearing it from San Diego Peak, and I'm also hearing it from my iPad from her YouTube channel. So this is way too much information, but no wonder I'm always confused. I've got too much stuff going off in my head.
All right, well, I appreciate the YouTube video. Some people go out of their way to do videos and stuff. I like it. I got a little YouTube channel. I play around with the daughter, and we do the other stuff in here and there. But I haven't lately been too busy working, too many hours. But by the time I get home, it's just good enough to see you say hi to the wife and go to bed there, John.
Well, this is good. This is true rag chew stuff, like on the net. The AM Roundtable net's pretty good because everybody knows one another or whatever, but when you get off on a side channel like this, well, with Don or me and Will or me and Don or me and Gary or me and whoever, it gets really crazy sometimes, and when you pull everybody together, we lose some of that insanity because there are some people that are more sane than what we are. So, but when Don and I get together chatting, it gets pretty crazy sometimes.
Yeah, I could imagine. He's trying to get me into 6 meters. I got a old radio over there that might work over here, but I'm trying to steal one of the antennas Don got over here. He's got too many antennas, but he's not copying up one. But we'll see. If I give him another beer, maybe by the end of the 6 or 4 beers, he might give me one.
No, I think it's the other way around. He doesn't drink beer. You have 4 or 5 more beers, and you'll be buying the antenna from Don. That's how it's going to go. He ain't going to give you no antenna. If you're forcing the beer into him, that ain't going to work. It's the other way around. He's going to get you drunk, and then he's going to sell you one of his antennas. That's how it works.
You're pretty smart, Don. You know him better than I do. But yeah, I tried to offer him a beer before. He says no. This turkey don't drink beers anymore. He's not a young whippersnapper anymore.
Yeah, well, that's for the good of him, because I mean, if you drink too much, it's not good for you, and if you don't drink any, it's not good for you. No, it is good for you, but. I had to change after I retired. I had to cut way back, so I try to limit myself to 1 beer a day, and that 1 beer a day is a keg.
A keg, huh? I'm a social worker. I do it on the weekends. Every once in a while on a weekday, I'll have 2 beers. We'll go have some Mexican ceviche or whatever, some fish or some shrimp or something, and then after work, there's a little hole in the wall right by work over there in Ontario, and we'll go have some and then go home. But it's only 2 beers during the week. That way I get up the next day in the morning to go to work.
Yeah, I was kidding. I mean, I wasn't kidding about the 1 beer thing, but the 1 beer used to be a 12-ounce beer, but it was just too tough. So I get the 16-ounce beers now. So 16-ounce beer is fine. But yeah, well, I know you're probably one of your favorite beers is Pacifico.
Oh man, what do you got a crystal ball there in front of you? That's the one and only beer I drink, and I've been to the factory in Mazatlan, and the beer does taste better over there. I don't know, something with the water. I guess it's that dirty, polluted water over there in Mexico we got.
No, not in Mazatlan. Mazatlan's got some good water. I've also been to that brewery plant in Mazatlan. I went on a cruise down there, and you get off the ship, and it's real close to port where you get off, and that's my favorite Mexican beer. I used to be married to a Mexican lady. I've been around Mexican people my whole life. The only thing I didn't really pick up on is the language, and the only thing that kind of makes sense is Dos Cervezas. And then when I went down to sightseeing stuff with my wife that knew fluent Spanish, she'd always make fun of me down there with the other people. Gringo and Dos Cervezas, that's the only thing I actually learned, and it it paid off quite well.
I already like you, John. You said your favorite beer is Pacifico, and my best friend from the high desert, he Weddle like turkey head over here. He brought me a sign the other day. He says, "Here, I got you your sign." I go, "What'd you get me?" He says, "The mirror. It says Pacifico on there." And actually, my brother married a girlfriend down there in Mazatlan, and he's got a house down there. And every once in a while, I'll go down there and stay there. I don't like the house because it's on the other side. It's on the new part of Mazatlan. I like the old part where you can go downtown and go buy fruit, go buy whatever you want to eat. He has it on the nice part of town where all the gated community. It's like living in California. But he says maybe later on he'll sell that and get something in downtown. But I have a lot of fun when we go down there. I might go in November. I'm trying to see if we're going to do Thanksgiving here or we're going to do it over there in Mexico, in Mazatlan. And we got a lot of our family over there that actually they practice Thanksgiving now.
Yeah, AJ6OLY, AA6RF for ID. Well, Don was saying you were bashful. You're not bashful. Hell, you've been on the radio more than once because you're talking like a frequent flyer ham radio operator. You're not tensed up like you were on the AM roundtable. What's going on here?
Everybody was listening. Now we just got half the world listening. We're on YouTube. But no, I get myself in trouble here. And then when I hang out with Turkey over here, I get more in trouble. But no, I have fun. I like the radio. I just messing around with repeaters, and then Turkey guy over here got me with the repeaters all the time now. He's got me doing this repeater, that. He wants to keep me off of 6 meters.
Well, the 6 meters is normally just local chat. I mean, because it's not going thousands of miles or hundreds of miles, but occasionally the 6 meter band will open up where we'll have a 500 mile, 600 mile radius that people can hear. And then this coming up in October, we're hoping that 6 meter will be worldwide, where you can get on with a 100-watt radio and talk to Australia or South America or places like that on 6 meter. And it's going to happen, but it just takes special circumstances for that to happen. And you can do that almost all the time on 20 meter, but you can't do it on 6 meter. But sometimes it happens, so I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, Efren, thanks for trying to confuse me. Of course, if Don had gave his ID and said he's from Baja, I would have I would have picked up on it. But you got one over on me, Efren, and now that I've talked to you for a little bit, it might only happen a second time, but it won't happen a third time.
I was on 40 meters the other day, and I had a friend like you that was talking on there, and I said my call sign, and I said Pablo, Sao Paulo, Brazil. I said it's Pablo in Sao Paulo, Brazil, but I was saying my call sign, and he fell for it, and I after a while he started laughing. He says I should have caught up on your call sign, but you got me with the Sao Paulo, Brazil, and I said this is Pablo in Sao Brazil coming in. 5 by 2, 5 by 7, and he thought he was talking to Brazil, and I pulled his leg on 40 meters the other day. He was there with another buddy of mine, and I came in there and like harassing them there, and then they were laughing about it, and they're like, "Oh man, and we should have known it was you."
Yeah, I know. It's fun. I mean, it's fun to have fun. I mean, as long as people are. I mean, sometimes you can tease somebody. And it's in good taste. Of course I like to tease people, but if they're sensitive to being teasing, I'll stop because I don't want to make enemies. But it is fun to tease people when it happens, and especially when you start talking to somebody, you talk for a few minutes, and I already picked up on what beer you liked and everything else. I mean, it's kind of universal. It's a pretty easy guess to just say Pacifico.
I have to invite you over to my house one of these days when we have a little get-together over there. And My wife makes the killer micheladas, not the ones that they sell at the special michelada place. I saw one over here when we went to breakfast, me and Don, the Diablo michelada. What street was that? Right next to Vicky's, where we went and had breakfast this morning. And I said, we went the other day to a farmer's market, and it was $15 for a michelada. And I had it, and the guy says, "Oh, how'd you like it? And I'm like, I said, "Yeah, it's good." And then the wife says, "Did you like it?" I said, "No, yours are 100 times more better." And then the guys come over and they love when the micheladas. But one of these days I'll invite you, John. I'll invite you and Turkey to go eat over there at my house. I'll make some birria or some pozole or menudo. Oh yeah, put the antenna up too.
Yeah, so you're going to be putting up an antenna. Well, I've got the antenna project over here all the time. I took one down 2 days ago and put one up yesterday. So I put up antennas and bring them down quite often. So I've got an antenna farm over at my place here, and of course Don, he puts up antennas and brings them down 10 a week sometimes. He never. Well, you know what he does. It's crazy. I don't know anybody that could do what he does and keep going. Unless they're in their 20s or something. And hell, Don's getting to be in his 70s, and he's still going.
Yeah, baby. He had me the other day up in Santiago, humping up an antenna up there. I said, "I'm too old for this. I'm only 53, John." I told him, "I'm too old for this, man. You young whippersnappers, you keep me out of shape." And I usually have another guy with me, or I take somebody else to give a hand whenever we need. I was picking up two. How many guys have I taken up there? Like 4, 5, 6 guys? So, we had a barbecue and all kinds of stuff up there. We had a little bit of fun. But, all right, John, I'm going to get out of here. It was nice talking to you. I appreciate whoever's doing the recording. I'll look it up. I'll have Don give me the call sign, and then we'll look it up and check it out, and I'll subscribe to it and add it on there. So, hey, John, this is KJ6OLY. I got a new buddy now because he drinks Pacifico. So one of these days we're gonna have to drink Pacificos because Turkey had. Oh, matter of fact, I had one yesterday. You're gonna laugh. I went to a funeral in Mexicali a couple months ago, and they had the Pacifico Suave. I don't know if you've had those yet. The Suave is supposed to be like the ultra light of the Michelob. And I bought 2 cases. They didn't say nothing to me on the border check. They didn't even ask me anything about them. I had them in the back of the pickup truck. And I went to my brother's yesterday, and they still had one left over that I took over there a couple weeks back. And I had ceviche last night over there at his house. We had a little get-together. And ceviche and that Pacifico Suave was the best thing.
Yeah, Don, Efren's a guy I got to meet and hang around with. When I hang around with you, you're too serious. You want to get work done. I have had a beer in front of you. When we went to Jose's over here, I had a beer, but I've never seen you drink a beer. Efren looks like, or sounds like, he's a guy to hang out with. He knows what he's doing. No wonder you two guys hang out together, because you make a good working relationship. If the guy's friendly and willing to work, what more do you need there, Don? So you found a good one to help you out.
I can't say what you said, John, or Don. He's saying all kinds of words over here. All right, John. Well, I have to put an antenna for 6 meters, and he's been telling me you gotta check in on the net there. So I gotta get busy and get him over there and get you over there, make you guys some birria or some carne asada and some good beer, and we'll get him his Mountain Dew Zeros. You know, the ones he loves.
He's down to Mountain Dew Zeros now, the low-calorie stuff. Shame on you, Don. I can see the Mountain Dews, because they are good, but the zero-calorie stuff, I don't know. I'm going to have to rethink this.
All right, John, we're going to get on out of here. He's over here going to show me something on the radio. And he's plugging in all kinds of stuff and showing me all kinds of stuff. So it was nice talking to you. Hopefully it won't be the last time I get on here. I'll get this turkey guy to give me an antenna or help me put up an antenna and take down some of the ones I got up there that I don't even use them. So, all right, John, it was nice talking to you. KJ6OLY. I'll be off and clear with you. Your last.
Yeah, it's Alpha Juliet.
No, KJ6OLY. Kilo Juliet 6 Oscar Lima Yankee.
Okay, I've been calling you AJ. It's KJ. Oh, all right, Kilo Juliet 6 Oscar Lima Yankee and K6DLP. This is AA6RF. And you guys have a good one. Stay cool and always fun to talk to Don and tease him and vice versa. He teases me he's as good as they get for teasing people. The guy's sharp. So, Efren, you're pretty sharp yourself. So glad to meet you. Talk to you later. AA6RF clear.